Hey, it's your girl Elaine here. First time making any type of mental health video, but I wanted to speak on this because I feel like it's so important, and that is people pleasing. Now, people pleasing is a type of behavior that's exhibited by a person or an individual that has experienced some type of trauma, whether that's a single episode event or trauma over years spanning decades. It's typically induced by shame based or guilt based environments. An example would be domestic violence, a domestic violence relationship, or it could also be induced by growing up in a strict fundamentalist Christian cult. Um, and I'll give a little bit of context. So, say, for instance, an individual was born into a strict fundamentalist cult like religion, where from the age of birth they're taught these messages that they're unworthy and they have to strive for perfection and adhere to these rigid strict rules about not doing this and not doing that, and if you do that you'll be punished and then you'll receive eternal damnation like a fire, like all these things. Imagine a person hearing those messages throughout the time they were born up until like decades. So when someone people pleases, typically it's an automated trauma response, right? To manage the other person's behaviors, whether that's a dictator, whoever the person is that they're trying to manage the emotions. It's because they want to avoid fear of retribution, fear of feeling guilt and shame, and fear of not being accepted. Because at the core root of it, right, it's like you aren't being accepted, so you want to avoid the pain of not being accepted. And a lot of the times this can cause anxiety, depression, and it can kind of trail into other types of relationships with partners, with people at work, with colleagues, with friends, right? You kind of mute yourself. That's the best way I can describe it. You mute yourself and then you lose your sense of identity, and you might exhibit behaviors like fawning or dissociation, or just like you just don't want to feel like shame, or not wanting to feel, to avoid being like invalidated at the end of the day. And yeah, so that's the best way I can describe people pleasing. Now, some people may already have this like personality trait where they just want to like be giving and everything, but if you are like typically a giver and you grow up in a traumatic environment, those people pleasing behaviors will be very pronounced. They can be exacerbated, and it can be kind of insidious, like slow poison that erodes your self-esteem, that erodes your identity. And if you kind of resonate with this, I hope you can take away something from it, maybe kind of explore that with a mental health professional, or even with anyone that you trust, really, that is open to hearing your voice and is open to just being there for you and having an empathetic response, as opposed to a guilt inducing, shame based manipulative response. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little mental health tidbit video, and I will catch you guys later on the next one. Bye.